The Nets are bad. Like, they are really, really, really bad. Coming into the season, I don't think a lot of people expected this team to perform as terrible as they are right now, but we need to talk about it. And while I could talk about Ben Simmons just like everyone else, I kind of want to focus on the Nets themselves, like as a team. Granted, Ben Simmons is one of the reasons why they are struggling, but I think there's other things that we should look at. Because if I'm being honest, I didn't think they were going to be this bad. Now, first off, let's just get started with Ben Simmons because I feel like it's the easiest thing to point at, and I already just brought it up. Ben isn't performing well, there's no secret, and the media is constantly letting you know about this. And despite me defending Ben Simmons in the past, I can't really disregard what he's doing. He's not playing well at all. Most of the problems he had in Philadelphia, it looks like he still has. Now, I will say he looks like a very good playmaker, and I've seen him be pretty solid on defense, but as far as I'm concerned, the whole shooting thing has not really changed. Now, am I saying that Ben Simmons' shooting is the whole reason why the Nets are not doing as well? Well, no, but it's his lack of confidence that is messing with them. I don't know if we're ever going to get that confident Ben Simmons that was a very good facilitator, an amazing playmaker, and someone that was a top 5 perimeter defender in the league. But even if they got someone that was a good playmaker and someone that could do well on defense, I think they would be fine. But the fact that Ben Simmons is becoming less of a man right now and we can clearly tell something is wrong with him, that's not exactly a good sign. I don't see Ben Simmons becoming a good shooter anytime soon, and while I don't think he has to, I think it would shut up all this stuff that's being said about him. Now, I will give the Nets props. They are defending Ben Simmons like when Kyrie Irving did in an interview.
When I passed it to him, I felt like he had a layup at the rim. And I looked him eye to eye and I was like, shoot it, Ben. And of course, again, it's just a clip. You know, it's a full game that we can look at.
Now, another YouTuber by the name of AM Hoops actually did talk about the same situation I'm talking about, and he kind of did not put it in a great light. I'm going to play that clip.
Yeah, except it would be just a clip if this wasn't Ben Simmons. This is a guy who passed up a dunk with Trae Young guarding him. This time, it was Grayson Allen. What Kyrie is doing is called gaslighting. It's when you tell somebody a lie and then tell them they're crazy.
I think to say Kyrie is trying to gaslight the media is a little bit crazy. And I think he was just trying to be a professional, if I'm being honest. Look, a lot of people tell Kyrie, be a professional to the media, which he's done sometimes and he hasn't done. And when he does do it, we still criticize him. Also, the title of his video is like Kyrie Irving is secretly fed up with Ben Simmons. I don't think he's really fed up with him. I think he wants it to work out, obviously. But no, I don't think Kyrie is the type to think of some political ass answer. I truly do think this is what he believes. Because the one thing about people like Kyrie Irving who are very outspoken, they will say what's on their mind. Even though Kyrie is a very controversial player, the one thing I'll give him props for is that he's not afraid to tell the media how he feels. I don't think he's trying to like manipulate this reporter. I think he's just really trying to defend his teammate. Also, real quick, I'm not trying to hate on AM Hoops. I have nothing against them. I'm just simply making a point on how I feel about the situation. YouTubers are allowed to disagree with each other, and here's me disagreeing with one of his points. But overall, I would say he put out a pretty good video about this. Now, since we are talking about Kyrie Irving, I kind of want to transition into him a little bit. Like I said about him defending Ben Simmons, he's a very outspoken person and he doesn't mind giving his opinion. So when he does something like promote a documentary or a book, I have no idea what it is at this point. When he promotes something like that has anti-Semitic slurs and is very hateful towards Jews, which I'm not even going to get into that conversation. I already did that on my second channel. But the main point I'm trying to get across is that a lot of people did not like that. He got a lot of criticism, and overall, it was just not a good light for the Nets, who were already struggling as it was. The point I'm trying to make is that Kyrie Irving is bringing a lot of negativity to the Nets right now, and he's bringing a lot of unwanted press, if that makes sense. I've seen some reports say that they should trade Kyrie Irving, but I'm going to be honest, as a basketball player, trading Kyrie is dumb, especially because you're not going to get any value for him. Like, you're not going to get a player as good as him, if that makes sense. However, the headache of Kyrie Irving and the stuff he says and the way he does act, you could trade him just because of that, but I don't think they will. But it is important to note that a lot of people are saying that. Another thing we need to address that is going to be a little bit of a short segment, but that's Kevin Durant. The fact that Kevin Durant the entire summer basically wanted to be traded and we had a pretty good idea on where he was going to go, and now he's back with Brooklyn, was a little shocking. It really seemed like that Kevin Durant was just about ready to be traded, but no one could really find a good trade, so he kind of was like, screw it, I'll just stay here, which is not exactly a good look, but they're trying to make it work. Except they're 1-5 at the time of recording this, and they're going to play the Pacers tonight, so we're going to see how that goes. The point is that they're one of the worst teams in the East. In fact, they might actually be the worst team in the East. Holy shit, they're tied with the Magic. Okay, What the fuck? To be honest, I don't see Kevin Durant getting traded during the season. I just think it would be a bad look, and I really do believe they're trying to make it work out. But honestly, with the way things look and the way this team is constructed, it's just not a good look for this team. Now, let me be very clear. When it comes to X's and O's in actual basketball, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are doing very well. But for championship winning basketball, you can't just have two people do well. You need a whole team. And the team as a whole and the way it was constructed is kind of a problem. Their bench is absolutely terrible. Guys like Joe Harris have not really showed up. TJ Warren hasn't showed up. I will say the only positive I see is Patty Mills. You can't just put Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant on a team, have Ben Simmons, who used to be an all-star but is not that level, and then a bunch of random guys. At least if you're expecting to win a championship, which at this point, I don't even think that's on the table anymore. I don't see this team getting better. Unless they made a trade that really shocked me, then maybe I'll change my mind, but I don't see them doing anything this season. In fact, if they blew up the entire team at the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, I know it's not KD and Kyrie's fault like I clarified, but what are they gonna do at this point to help this team? There's not much they can really do. I wouldn't be shocked if they started to go into a rebuilding stage in these upcoming years, if not this offseason coming up. Now let's talk about Steve Nash, someone that a lot of people think is the biggest problem of this team besides Ben Simmons. Here's the thing, you gave Steve Nash his very first coaching job on a team where they were expected to have title aspirations. This team not winning a championship back in 2021 was a disappointment. So obviously them not winning and not being a good team is going to be put to Steve Nash, but I don't know if it's his fault really. There are two possibilities of what's going on, and it's either A, Steve Nash is a good coach, however guys like KD and Kyrie are basically running the show. I mean, in 2021, Kyrie did say that he believed that team could run without a head coach. Regardless, if you have two big superstar players like Kyrie and KD, I wouldn't be surprised if they're running the show and not Steve Nash, which is kind of what Tyronn Lue went through back in 2016 with the Cavs. So maybe Steve Nash is actually a good head coach and we just don't know, or B, he was just thrown there because of his name. If he's going to be a good coach, I don't think it's going to be with this team, and I think he's not going to really be able to show what he's capable of doing. I don't know, I feel like they just threw him in there and expected him to win a championship when he had little to no coaching jobs in the past. I'm not going to blame Steve Nash as much as I think a lot of people are, but I definitely do question whether or not he's as good of a coach as people thought he was going to. Now, is there a silver lining in this video? Do I think there's going to be a possibly good ending for the end of the season? No, there's not. KD seems like he still wants to be traded. Kyrie Irving is doing a bunch of dumb shit. Ben Simmons is less of a man. They don't have a good team overall. And Steve Nash is probably going to leave in like 2 years to become a TikTok star. But seriously, I don't see this team making a championship run, let alone making the playoffs. But who knows? Maybe Brooklyn will end up surprising me and the whole entire league. Before the video ends, I just want to say happy Halloween. This video is going to be coming out on Halloween. I hope you guys have a safe night, and don't eat candy that looks weird.